Welcome to Cavaletto Studios. I'm Chris. Are those tight muscles leaving you feeling stiff as a rock? In this short segment, we'll loosen up using the foam roller to help massage out those trigger spots and tight areas, helping with mobility and leaving you feeling great. So grab that foam roller and let's rock and roll. We're going to begin on the glutes. So you're going to place your hands on the foam roller, bend your knees, and lift yourself up onto that roller. You are welcome to use a yoga block under your hand, helps lessen the angle and the pressure on the shoulder or wrist if you have issues there. Now with your feet flat on the floor, knees bent, we're going to lean to the right side of that roller, or the right glute. We're going to lean to the right glute, and all the weight's there, and you're going to use your legs to roll to the top and the bottom of the glute. All the way. And this is where we find any trigger points, tender spots. As you roll to the body goes backwards, so you roll to the bottom of the glute, roll forward to the top of the glute. Now, from here, we're going to find the middle of the glute. We're going to go a little deeper. Option 1 to pull the knee into the chest. A little deeper, you cross the right ankle over the left thigh, and then make that figure 4, and then here we roll again, forward and back. Now this can be a little bit more intense on the glute, getting deeper into that tissue, that fascia tissue. Find the middle of your glute, and you're going to rock side to side. So sometimes we get, like when in the morning when you wake up, you're a little bit stiff and you feel a little, I call it sticky. For me, I feel like I can't quite move the body very well. But once you get moving, we are not so sticky. The tissue moves like within and then back to center, and let's roll one more time to the top and the bottom of that glute. And then we're going to find our center. We're going to release that leg back onto the floor, and we're going to transition to the left side. Now we're on the left side. You can also use that yoga block under the hand. All your weight's on the left glute, and you're going to roll to the top and the bottom of the glute. Feet flat on the floor, knees bent. So just checking in with this side, seeing the difference. Noticing if there is any trigger points in that glute. How does it feel? Now we're going a little deeper. We're going to pull the left knee into the chest and then cross the left ankle over the right thigh, making that figure 4, and roll to the top and the bottom of that glute again. Now if you find a trigger point, find the middle of that glute. When you find a trigger point, you can always move that knee up and down, and then let's also rock side to side. So just a variety of ways to get into that tissue, massaging it out. This will help us move a little better, help our mobility. Now from here, we're going to slowly uncross the left leg and go ahead and slide onto the floor in front of the roller and straighten out your legs. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to pull the right foot across the left thigh and hug the knee with your left arm, lifting and lengthening, flexing your left foot, and then reach behind and give your right glute and hip a nice stretch. So you're hugging, you're squeezing in that knee to the chest as you're stretching that glute and hip area that we just rolled. And then you're going to release it. Go and extend that leg out front and cross the left foot over the top of the thigh, hugging that left knee into the chest. Lift and lengthen, and again, stretching that glute and hip. This is a great one also if you've just been traveling or you've worked out. So you've been stuck sitting, you're getting that nice twist as you lengthen. Now we're going to release this, going to upper back. So we're going to lean back onto the roller. You're going to go right around the mid-shoulder blades. So the roller is across the shoulder blades. Just lean it back, get comfortable on it. Making sure when we roll that we stay from the shoulder blades and up, There's no ribs attached to the lower vertebrae, so we don't want to roll the low back. We're going to place the fingertips behind the head without interlacing, and the head is back. You're going to open up that chest, and then we're going to press the feet into the floor as we roll to the top and the bottom of those shoulder blades, keeping the neck nice and long, not letting it drop backwards. If you've ever been to a chiropractor, you might feel a little adjustment here, like a pop. It's a little release. It feels so good. You never want this to feel bad. Now find the middle of your shoulder blades with the roller and lower the hips to the floor. Now we're going to bring the feet and knees together and drop them to the left, and we're rolling onto the left lat and armpit. Now, if you've ever had a mastectomy and the lymph nodes have been removed, what you want to do is, of course, first consult your doctor before doing this, and be sure to keep your elbow on top of the roller. Do not go into the armpit or pressure there, and you will also be using an extra soft roller, not a medium or a hard density. All right, so if your elbow's on top, you can do a roll forward and back to the front and back of the mat. If your elbow's on the floor, both elbows wide, and you're going to rock your body forward so your chest wall goes towards the roller, and then you're going to rock backwards towards your lats. So we got a lot going on in those shoulder joints, upper back, a lot of connective tissue, so we're massaging it out. If you've had any old shoulder injuries, you might find some trigger points or old scar tissue. Just ease into it to what feels good to you. You do not want to have any pain or nerve zingers when you do this. If you do, I want you to take a break, stretch it out, and again, consult your physician. One last time, and now we're going to transition to the right side. So now we're on the right. We've dropped our knees to the right. Our right elbow is on the floor. Again, same thing on this side. If you need to bring the elbows up, you would bring it on top of the roller, not going into the lymph node, the area where if there's lymph nodes missing. Otherwise, you rock towards the chest wall, across that armpit, and then rock backwards into the shoulder blade, and then forward. Now, the right side, if you use the mouse a lot on the computer, you might be finding some extra trigger points, or even if you're right dominant, there might be some spots going on that are talking to you as you roll over them, some sensitive spots. One more rock and roll. And then we're going to slowly press ourselves up onto the hands and knees. And you're going to bring your hips to your heels, arms on the roller, and go ahead and stretch it forward, stretching through the armpits, the upper back. A nice stretch there. Now from here, we're going to come up, and we're just transitioning, a couple of shoulder rolls, that just feels really good, to the quads. All right, so this is a quick rock and roll, getting all those areas of the body, the main ones, rolled out. So you're going to come to your elbow plank. The roller is going to be right above those knees. We don't roll over the knee joints. Go ahead and bring your feet about hip distance apart and try to relax the legs as much as you can while you're on the roller. And you're going to literally move forward and back only about an inch, massaging right above those knees. Making sure your back's not sagging, you're not feeling any pain in the low back. Pull that belly in, engaging the core, and not going into the neck too much. Then we're going to walk the elbows back maybe an inch or two. That roller automatically rolls up the thigh about an inch, and you repeat that forward and back rolling. And you can do 4, 6, 10 rolls and then walk the elbows back again. So if it's super sensitive, just do 4. And if you're good to go, you can do more rolling. Some areas might change as you roll up that thigh. Keep moving on up. And I always like to say the more you roll, the less the toll. So as you're massaging out the top of those thighs, it might feel a little sensitive the first time. So we're going to come off the roller. Once you're done, come off the back. Let's take a child's pose. So bring your knees apart, feet together, arms on the roller, nice and wide. Let's see if we can go a little deeper. So now you're stretching over the knees again, but now into the armpits. Bringing that head to the floor. And then we're going to come up and we're going to roll the quads one more time to make it 2 total. I like to do this because you can get different areas of those quads that need it. So we're coming back to the exact same position. Elbows on the floor. Now let's bring the knees and feet together, a little hip tilt to the right. Both legs are still on the roller, but now you're feeling a little more pressure on the front right side of that quad and the left side of the front of that left quad. Forward and back a few times and then walk the elbows back. And again, this might be pretty sensitive, so maybe you spend less time doing it this way. Keep walking the elbows back, but at least you're getting something going here, getting that tissue massaged out. Keep rolling, and you just go as high as you comfortably can. Then we center the body, we walk ourselves back to the beginning. So the roller comes back to the knees, readjust the legs, maybe bring them together. A little hip shift to the left and massage again, forward and back. So you rock to the left and roll forward and back. And another walk with the elbows back, a little forward and back. Just keep working your way down. And you might find that one leg is a little more sensitive than the other, or you have more trigger points. And just if that's happening, notice, think about what's going on in the knee on that same leg. It's all connected. Keep on rolling. And then when you get to the top of the thigh, go ahead and slide off the back. We're going to remove the roller out of the way and go ahead and slide onto the belly. And we're going to bring the right hand under the chin or the forehead, and then bend your left knee and reach back with your left hand and just give it a nice stretch, pulling the heel to your glute. Now, if you cannot reach your leg, you're welcome to use a strap, a belt, a towel, or you can lay on your right side and bring your left leg behind you, the inside of the foot to the floor. And then we're going to switch legs. And again, you can stay longer in the stretches if you'd like. And then you're feeling that glute relax as you pull the heel in. And you can even try squeezing and releasing the glute. It will change the stretch. Now we're releasing both legs. Slowly pressing yourself up. Take one last child's pose stretch. Really melt a little deeper towards the floor. Reaching the arms out, armpits towards the floor, stretching the back and the quads, and then come all the way up, finding a nice tall seated position. Check in with how you feel. You probably feel a little bit of energy running through the body, a little more awake. You can move a little better too, a lot more mobile. So take a deep breath in, reach those arms up, exhale, palms to heart space. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.